Hello YouTube and welcome to my channel eddieinreadingland. My name is Eddie and today I'm bringing you my favorite depictions of the lovers. Okay guys, so today I'm bringing you my favorite depictions of the lovers like I said in the intro, and I'm going to cheat on this one, just letting you guys know, because I have a lot of preferences for the lovers, and I'm still going to show you lovers from only 5 decks, but some of those lovers have various depictions in the deck, and I actually like them very much. I interchange them when I'm using the decks, and but you're gonna know which ones they are. I will have one honorable mention, and then 3. The next 3 after the honorable mention, I don't know where to put them because they're just really good. So I'm just gonna show them to you as I have them over here. But the last one is my favorite depiction of the lovers, and I think that you guys are gonna be surprised because I was actually very surprised with my favorite pick. It's very unusual for me, but I tend to like with the selection of lovers that I have. I tend to like lovers that are actually queer, and or that are in a queer relationship, or that look non-binary, or in some way the lovers need to be queer. But I do have an exception with the honorable mention, and that will be this one. This is The Lover from the Red Raven Tarot by Luong Vu An Dui. I am hoping I'm pronouncing that right, but he is an Asian creator, and I have a review of this deck and I've flipped through as well. So I'll link it down below in case you guys want to see it. But this is, to me, my favorite depiction of the lovers as a shadow. It's just so cool. I like the fact that Luong decided to depict just one lover instead of various ones. We usually get at least 2 or 3 people in the lovers card. Just depends on what the tradition is from the tarot. But this is a shadow deck. This was specifically designed as a shadow deck, and I just really enjoy the fact that we have just one lover and how chaotic this card all looks. I also very much like the fact that we're getting a depiction of Cupid in the card, and it's Cupid in this movement forward, just aiming at its target that we're actually not able to see. But I really enjoy the chaos that Cupid actually does bring to his own mythology and to how people feel or think romance is. I'm not about to define what romance is. Being a romantic, it's very difficult to define something that I'm unable to feel, and I'm not about to do it for other people. But I like the fact that, Luong decided to depict that chaos in how relationships are put together, or can be put together, or even how relationships are chaotic while you being in that relationship. I really enjoy that. I'm really a fan of this color palette. Red, black, and white looks incredibly great, and it's incredibly striking to me. I love that, especially this orangey blood red. It's really appealing to me. I also like the fact that the energy is actually pouring from Cupid's back. You know what this reminds me of? Like a comet. This looks like a comet, and what this comet is hitting is another person who is going to fall into the trap of falling in love. I do personally make a difference between being in love and loving somebody. Those are two completely different things for me. The fact that I'm aromantic doesn't mean that I don't love other people. I love my husband very much. I love my mom very much. I love my friends, but it's the loss of romance that I feel like, somebody like my husband would like from me, and unfortunately I'm not able to provide that. But it's just how what I'm trying to say with this card is that this is a great example of the lovers in shadow, and how a negative or ill-defined or malefic that connection can be even from the start, and how quick this connection can build. And we can confuse love with something like obsession or infatuation or anything else, actually. In my opinion, some relationships are really, they develop quickly. They don't grow. And I think that there's a difference between developing and growing. And I think that love is one of those things that definitely need time to grow, and time to flourish, time to get that development, that foundation very well. But yeah, this card really exemplifies that for me. This is a great shadow aspect of the lovers, and this is also a very grim way of depicting the lovers for me. So I mean, this image is complete. It's just stunning. I really, really enjoy this image a lot. I just wish that this card was a lot bigger, so that we're able to see even more of it. But I mean, it is what it is. It's very tiny. I have small hands, but so maybe I'm not the best example of this, but it's really, really tiny. Like, here's my hand, and this is the card. Maybe I should give you another. I think you guys get the idea. Yeah, and it's also, as you guys can see, it's also in panoramic view, which is also very fascinating. Doing spreads with this tarot looks incredibly good. So, because it's just so different, it's a different experience. But yes, so moving on from my honorable mention. Why do I ramble so much in these videos? It's just that I'm really excited for them. Okay, so the next three depictions of the lovers are in no particular order. But I do have over here Fyodor Pavlov's The Lovers. Oh, I guess nudity. There's nudity in this deck, and there's nudity in this video, and it's probably, there's gonna be probably nudity in all of my videos if I'm showing some of my tarot. From the cards, not for me, not that I care, but but yes, so these are the lovers in the Fyodor Pavlov deck. This is actually the only card that I know has two trans people depicted in the lovers. And not only that, they are handfasted, as you guys can see, and they genuinely look very loving towards each other. I like the sensuality of this card. I like the very exposed sexuality of this card. This is very freeing for the lovers, in my opinion. I really like that feeling of connection through vulnerability. I feel like there's more of a deep connection when you decide to be vulnerable with your partner, or even if you outside of an intimate relationship, if you are vulnerable with other people. I just think it provides more depth to your relationship. and I do understand that it can be very, very difficult for some people to do that, but the willingness and the courage that it takes for you to be vulnerable, to be naked, literally naked, in front of a person it's one of those very important steps, I guess, that one takes in a relationship, or at least it is for some people. I'm not bothered at all by my nakedness or by nakedness of other people, and I do feel like, bearing your feelings and bearing your thoughts and just being able to connect more with your significant other or with another person, doesn't have to be your intimate partner, your friends, your family. It's one of those opportunities that I think that we as people should take, and I think that all of that is being exemplified here in this card. I just feel like Fyodor did an amazing job with all of the deck, and especially portraying queer characters and queer people, and also portraying people who are overweight and who are disabled. There's a lot of that in Fyodor's deck, and I really, really like it. I really, really like that Fyodor decided to color the lovers, because it just makes total sense to me that they would be colorful, and then the background just muted and gray. Well, actually it's sepia, but I like that contrast. I like that contrast a lot. I love the fact that we have a nod here to Jesus's heart. We have the crown of thorns, we have the flames, we have the blood. I really like that. It's I'm not Catholic, or I don't really follow any religion per se. I definitely grew up with a lot of Catholicism back in Costa Rica, but this image of the heart being stabbed by the crown of thorns and being inflamed, it just speaks to me a lot about the hurt and the passion and the pain that love brings. And it seems like we all are masochists to it, because some of that we actually carry with ourselves, and sometimes we should, sometimes we shouldn't. Depends on the relationship, of course. But I really, really like it. I like the fact that we have the woman here with an apple. I love that. It reminds me of the Garden of Eden and Eve. And I like that we have the man carrying the arrow. Again, this striking connection that is made with love. I really, really like these lovers cards. It's an amazing depiction. It's an amazing representation. I think that we need to see more of this. I don't think we need to. We need to see more of everyday people. I'm not saying only queer people. I'm saying people that are overweight and people who are different ethnicities, or they could be different ethnicities. I feel like she's Latina and he's white, but again, because that's what I see in my day-to-day as well. So I can relate a lot to this lover's card in my life, and the life that I experience outside even of my home. So yes, I very, very much like this card. Fielder did an excellent job with this. I am really, really happy that this card exists, because we need to see more representation, especially trans people being represented in the media, in cards, and whatever. It doesn't matter. But we need to see more of it. Okay, so that's that. And then here's where I start to cheat again. And these are the lovers from the Star Spinners Tarot by Trungles. So bear with me, because they're a little shiny. Let me see if I can actually put them like this, and it will make Perfect. Yes, and they will make more sense. Okay, so here we have the lovers represented by homosexual men. Here we have the lovers represented by a heterosexual couple. Here we have the lovers represented by more androgynous or non-binary sort of people. And here we have a lesbian representation of the lovers. I just really like this. I think that if you're going to provide us with options of a card, I think that the lover should be one of those cards, because there are so many different couples out there, and I feel like, you know, every one of them should get a rep for the lovers. And I think that Trungles has been one of those artists that have done that very well. Like I said, I usually switch between the cards when I'm using this tarot. I'm actually using this tarot right now for daily draws as well, and I'll probably use it for client readings because it's not a scary sort of deck. It's people seem to gravitate towards it, especially queer people as well. But I just like the fact that we have options, because again, the lovers is also about decision making and choosing correctly, or choosing what you feel like you need to choose at that moment. And I really, really like it. I like how colorful all of these cards are, and I love the fact that they're all different people and that they're all experiencing love in their own way. And not only that, but they're also, as in the Fyodor deck, they're also exposed and naked and bare. And that seems to be another feature of the lovers that I like, when they're naked and they're exposed and they're being vulnerable. It's just, there's an openness to that. There's a freedom to that. That I really enjoy, and I especially like to see it on the lovers. I like that we can see that these people are good communicators. How do I know that they are? Because they are incredibly happy with each other, and they are incredibly comfortable with each other. I feel like these people are able to tell anything to their partners, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's things that need changing, whether it's things that need to stay the same. I feel like these people are portraying all of that. I really, really like it. I like the how dynamic some of these representations look as well, especially this one over here. There's a lot of movement to it, and I really, really like that. But then again, I also like the calmness that some of these depictions are also providing for me. They speak very well with the lovers. I like that connection, that not only interconnectivity, but intraconnectivity as well. I feel like sometimes we forget that there's an aspect of lovers that deals with ourselves too, and the connection that we have with ourselves. And I like how most of these cards, actually, especially these two, do give us that. There is a certain connection that there is to self being depicted, especially in these two cards over here. And I really, really like that. I really, really enjoy that from the lovers. One of the other things that I like about these lovers is that they're very good depicting the Gemini of the as the lovers being the trump of Gemini, because there's two people on all of these, but it's two different people, and I just like that. These are the lovers that most closely remind me of Gemini and how I feel Gemini is. I am a Gemini, a sun in Gemini, actually. I have a lot of Gemini in my chart, but yeah, I mean, I just really like it. I like that Trungles took the time to create such beautiful artwork and give us such beautiful colors and different colors on all of these. And I like that Trungles gave us the option to choose. And I think that's incredibly appropriate with the lovers. So here are 4 cards. I know it's supposed to be just one, but it's just that I really, really like all of these as the lovers for the deck. And I feel like all of these are the lovers in the deck. And that's why I just interchange them with each other whenever I want to. But yeah, so these are the lovers from Trungles. I feel like artists should provide us with more depictions of lovers like this. And it doesn't have to be all of these 4. It could be just, 3 or 2, like in the next tarot. So the next one I am going to show you guys is the Sephiroth Tarot by various artists. I will have their names in the description below, but it's just so difficult to remember all of them. So I'll just say this. These lovers are so great. I really like this. I like these lovers because, well, first of all, teal is my favorite color, and hopefully you guys are able to see the teal here. But yes, teal is my favorite color, and let's see if I can fix that. There we go. So, and not only that, these lovers are also queer. I really, really, really enjoy the fact that we have a polyamorous relationship over here. That is amazing. And also, I really, really enjoy the fact that we have a person with a skin condition. I believe that they are albino. They certainly look that way. I am not very sure. But I have never seen an albino person in a tarot before. And again, we need to see more of this. There are a lot of people out there that need to be represented that never get represented in media or in tarot or in anywhere. But these lovers, I like the fact, well, we have also trans people over here, so that's amazing. The other thing that strikes me a lot about these lovers is that you guys can see that the sun and the moon are present on these lovers. And I love that. That goes back to duality for me, and that goes back to choices and having options, and considering what you have, making a decision. That reminds me of all of that. It also reminds me a little bit of polarity, which I like to associate with the High Priestess instead of the lovers, but I can see how there could be polarity in the lovers as well. So these lovers are also very motivational for me. They're also very inspirational. I like the fact that all of these lovers are looking at each other and creating that connection just through sight, just by looking at each other. That feels deeper. It feels like they're looking at each other in their souls, in their integral being, in their core. And I really, really like that. The communication without having to say anything is also being expressed on these cards, and I really, really enjoy that. Looking at these lovers really make me smile, and it makes me happy, and I just really, really enjoy these. These are also ones that I interchange when I'm using the Sephiroth Tarot, because they're just so great. And I really don't want to miss any of having to do readings with any of these lovers. So I like the fact that we have options as well. But yeah, here is my other lovers that I like. And so moving on to my number 1, and this is surprising because it's The Lovers from the Terror of the Abyss by Anna Turian. Now, to be perfectly honest with you guys, I am not certain why this is my favorite depiction of The Lovers. But for some reason, this makes absolute sense to me. I like the fact that we're representing connection here, not only by the roots of these trees and how they're connected with each other, but also by the movement of the trees and how they're leaning against each other. This is such a powerful image without having any people in it, and it just makes me feel like there isn't any other lovers out there that I like. This also removes the sexuality and the sensuality of the lovers in a way. Actually, not in a way. It removes it all the same. And again, I don't know why I like that fact, but let me tell you what I like about the card, and then maybe we can find out why it is my favorite. This card, whenever I see it, it provides me with a sense of awe and immediate knowledge of what this card means. I see here not only communication within the roots of the tree, I see connection, I see interconnection, I see intraconnection, I see the decision that went on with these two trees and how they decided to come into each other and be with each other. There's a lot of love as well here in a way. I'm not really sure if it's because there's a sort of shape here that is being made that just reminds me of the helix from DNA. And I don't know why I'm associating that with love and how it expands. Probably to do with something with family as well. It's just very appropriate for me, this Lovers card. I really, really, really enjoy this Lovers. I also like the fact that this is in black and white. It doesn't need any color. I even though I'm a person who actually does like color in their tarot decks usually, even a little, but there's something about this Lovers card that also feels very receptive, very peaceful, very calm, as if there's even more room here for growth, and thus there's more room for love, and there's more room for communication and intimacy and respect. This is a very powerful image that is ticking a lot of boxes that I didn't think that needed to get ticked in a way. And I just really, really like it, guys. It's also so simple. So simple. This depiction is so simple, but it just is giving me so much information, and I like how that plays out. I think it's genius. I think this depiction of the Lovers is genius. The one thing that I'll say that would probably make these lovers better was if they were nymphs or ents, have some sort of humanoid features. I think that would make this image even more powerful. But again, I'm not saying that it needs it. And again, this is my favorite depiction of the lovers from the decks that I have currently right now. I don't know if that's going to change, but Anna Turian did an excellent job. I really, really, really enjoy these lovers, and I think that she should be commended by how simple this illustration is and how complex is making me feel, and how complex is the message that it's transmitting. So I really, really like this. Really, really like this. I think that this is also closely related to the Gemini sigil or symbol in astrology. It sort of looks like it in a way, maybe. But yes, so there you go, guys. Those are my favorite depictions of the lovers. And yes, I cheated. I showed you more than 5 cards, but I couldn't resist. They're just so beautiful. I had to do it. But let me know in the comments below which one of these is your favorite lovers card, or what is your favorite lovers card. I would like to know. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, YouTube.